The Songkeeper program will be experiential learning at its essence. And so this is not a program where someone sits in a classroom and expects to passively receive instruction. This is going to be all about doing it. And so we're going to have opportunities. We're going to have professional touring singer-songwriters who are going to come in and work with us in clinics and in critiquing and mentoring students in creating their own songs. We're going to have these same songwriters are going to be doing shows, and we're going to have students working with them and helping and producing those shows. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the elements of a song, what makes a song work, how do you go about constructing a song. But really what we're going to do mostly is we're going to get people writing. We're going to create a safe place where you can show someone something for the first time that's vulnerable, that's coming from your heart, from your feelings. But this is a safe place because your fellow students are going to be your colleagues. They're going to become your trusted friends. They might become your co-writers, and they're going to be your first safe audience. We'll go from writing exercises to actually writing songs, to singing those songs in front of the rest of the learning community, and then we're going to be singing those songs on stages here on the Schreiner campus and then in the Kerrville community. By the end of the academic year, we will have students actually submitting their songs for showcases and song competitions. I think to be a really good songwriter, you absolutely should learn the craft. But I also think that you have to have a little bit of the soul of a poet. And you write all kinds of songs. You write funny songs, you write songs for irony and humor, and sometimes for protest and to make statements, and love songs. You can write all kinds of songs. But I think in one way or another, there needs to be something in there where you feel like, I have something to say. I have a reason. I'm not just writing because I want to see if I can write a song. My name is Bill Muse. I am just ending a career as a higher ed executive. I've spent most of the past 40 years in higher education, but I also have had a continuous passion for music. And my wife and I spent about 7 years touring and playing music and making albums back in the 90s when we were first together. And it was a wonderful experience, and we made hundreds of dollars a year. And then we decided we needed to get back to something where we could actually make a living, and so we went back to our former careers, and for me that was higher ed. Since 2000, I've been back in higher education, and since 2011 here at Schreiner. And I am very, very excited because this next transition into this new phase is going to allow me to actually have the best of all worlds. I'll still be able to be here at Schreiner. I'll be able to contribute to a place that I love, and I'll be able to do it in an activity that is absolutely my passion. We're bringing together people who have a shared passion. And particularly, I think, when I think about the concept of a learning community, this particular application is just perfect for it, because the idea is this is something people care about. They're not just taking a class because it's on their schedule. They're doing something that really means something to them. It may start out with just a curiosity, something that they're kind of intrigued by. Maybe they have an aspiration, but they've never had the opportunity or the courage to try it. But by bringing them together and having that shared experience, not just in the classroom, but in their time after class, in the evening, sitting around, sharing songs, listening to music together, it all builds on itself, and I think that's what makes it a community. Oftentimes, people who are drawn to this, to songwriting, are sort of by nature a little bit introverted. It's kind of ironic, but it's true. And so, again, they have to be part of the community. I want them to share with each other. I want them to help each other on this journey. We have a great studio here, and we have a great engineer, and so students will have an opportunity. Not only have the opportunity, they'll have the expectation that as we start working on things, we're going to record it, and not just finished songs, but we'll be recording things that are projects and listening to, so that we can listen and learn from what we're doing. So we'll use the studio for that. I will tell you that if you're willing to put the work in to become a better performer, both with your instrument and vocally, it'll pay off. I think that the songwriting process, the creation of the song, is only part of the process. And to me, what makes a song magical, what makes it transformative, what makes it even transcendent, is that transfer that occurs when we perform the song for someone and they hear it. When you get that connection between the performer and the audience. That might be an audience of one, or it might be an audience of a half a dozen, or it might be an audience of 50,000. But that transfer is the completion of the process to me. I think that, as we have coined that term based on the concept of a river keeper. And the river keeper is someone who has dedicated him or herself to the conservation, to the sustaining, to the nurturing, the quality and the integrity of rivers and the waters. And when we think about Kerrville, we think about Texas Hill Country, songwriting is the indigenous art form here. And what I think a songkeeper will do is we will be trying to nurture and sustain this art form, this indigenous art form of the Texas Hill Country. And if we're successful in interesting and encouraging students to become songwriters and to add to this legacy of all of the great songwriters who have been here in Kerrville over the years, and add their piece of music to that legacy, what a gratifying thing. Mama, when will we get there? Thought that part of the journey was a long time ago.